Welcome to my channel, Storytime English.
Chapter 1. Hitting Rock Bottom. James was a talented musician, known for his soulful guitar playing and poignant lyrics. However, the pressures of the music industry led him down a dark path of alcohol addiction. His once thriving career was in shambles, and his personal life was a mess. He had lost touch with his bandmates, distanced himself from his family, and his apartment was a reflection of his chaotic life, littered with empty bottles and unwashed dishes. One fateful night, after a particularly heavy drinking session, James found himself lying on the floor of his messy apartment, looking at a picture of his late mother. The realization hit him hard. If he continued on this path, he might never make her proud. This moment became the catalyst for his desire to change. The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide you're not going to stay where you are. J.P. Morgan, Chapter 2. Cry for help. The next morning, James woke up with a splitting headache and an overwhelming sense of despair. He knew he couldn't do this alone. Mustering all his courage, he picked up the phone and called Lily, childhood friend. Lily had always been there for him, even when he pushed everyone else away. Hearing the desperation in his voice, she immediately knew he needed help. Lily reassured him that he wasn't alone and convinced him to seek professional help. With her support, James decided to enter a rehabilitation program, despite his fears and uncertainties. Help others and give something back. I guarantee you will discover that while public service improves the lives and the world around you, its greatest reward is the enrichment and new meaning it will bring your own life. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Chapter 3. First Day. James arrived at the rehabilitation center feeling a mixture of anxiety and hope. The facility was located in a serene area, surrounded by trees and nature, a stark contrast to his cluttered apartment. The staff welcomed him warmly, explaining the program and introducing him to his fellow residents. Each face carried its own story of struggle and hope. James felt a sense of camaraderie and relief. He wasn't alone in this battle. Despite the daunting journey ahead, the supportive environment gave him a glimmer of hope. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Chapter 4. Facing the Path. In the first group therapy session, James sat in a circle with other patients. The therapist encouraged them to share their stories. James listened as others recounted their battles with addiction, feeling a deep connection with their struggles. When it was his turn, he hesitated but then began to speak. He talked about his mother's death, pressures of fame, and how he had used alcohol to numb his pain. As he spoke, felt a weight lifting off his shoulders. The group's empathy and understanding were like a balm to his wounded soul, marking the beginning of his emotional healing. Healing takes courage, and we all have courage, even if we have to dig a little to find it. Tori Amos. Chapter 5. The Struggle Within. Detoxing from alcohol was one of the hardest parts of James's journey. His body, accustomed to years of heavy drinking, rebelled against the sudden absence of alcohol. He experienced severe withdrawal symptoms, shaking, sweating, nausea, and intense cravings. Medical staff monitored him closely, providing medications and emotional support. Lily visited often, bringing him comfort and strength. Each day was a battle, but James remained determined. He kept reminding himself of his goal, to reclaim his life and his music. It always seems impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela. Chapter 6. Finding New Strength. As the days passed, James began to feel a little stronger. The intense physical symptoms of withdrawal started to fade, and he could think more clearly. The rehabilitation program included various activities to help residents regain control of their lives. Meditation, exercise, art therapy, and individual counseling sessions. James found solace in these activities, especially in playing the guitar, which he had avoided for so long. Each strum of the strings felt like a step towards reclaiming his identity. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. Mahatma Gandhi. Chapter 7. Building a Routine. Establishing a routine was crucial for James's recovery. He started his day with meditation, followed by a healthy breakfast. He attended therapy sessions, participated in group activities, and spent time in the garden playing his guitar. The structure gave him a sense of stability and purpose. He also started keeping a journal, documenting his thoughts and progress. This routine became a pillar of his new life, helping him stay focused and grounded. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. Chapter 8. Facing Old Demons. During one therapy session, James confronted his deep-seated fears and insecurities. He talked about the pressure to succeed in the music industry, fear of failure, and the guilt he felt for pushing away his loved one. The therapist helped him understand that acknowledging these fears was the first step towards overcoming them. James realized that his addiction was not just a physical dependency, but also a way to escape from his emotional pain. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Chapter 9. First Milestone. After weeks of hard work, James celebrated his first major milestone, 1 month of sobriety. The Rehabilitation Center held a small ceremony where residents shared their achievements and hopes for the future. James felt a deep sense of accomplishment and gratitude. He had taken the first crucial steps towards reclaiming his life. Support from the community and his own determination had brought him this far. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Chapter 10. Rediscovering Music. One evening, as part of the center's recreational activities, James was invited to perform at an open mic night. Nervous but excited, took the stage with his guitar. He played a song he had written during his time in rehab, pouring his heart into the lyrics. The audience's applause and the connection he felt through music reignited his passion. Music, once a source of pressure, became a healing outlet. Music can change the world because it can change people. Chapter 11. Building a Support Network. James realized the importance of a strong support network in maintaining his sobriety. He reconnected with old friends and made new ones at the Rehabilitation Center. He also attended local Alcoholics Anonymous, AA meetings, where he found a community of individuals who understood his struggles. These connections provided him with ongoing support and accountability, essential for his long-term recovery. We cannot live only for ourselves. 1,000 fibers connect us with our fellow men. Chapter 12. Embracing New Hobbies. To fill the void left by alcohol, James embraced new hobbies. Took up painting, a skill he had never explored before. He found joy in creating art, expressing his emotions through colors and strokes. These new activities not only occupied his time, but also enriched his life, providing him with new avenues for self-expression and satisfaction. Art enables us to find ourselves and lose ourselves at the same time. Chapter 13. Reconnecting with Family. As part of his recovery, James reached out to his family, seeking to mend broken relationships. He visited his sister, who welcomed him with open arms. They spent hours talking, reminiscing about their childhood, and rebuilding their bond. His family's forgiveness and support were crucial in his journey, giving him the emotional strength he needed to continue. Family is not an important thing, it's everything. Chapter 14. Planning for the Future. With his life back on track, James started planning for the future. He decided to use his experiences to help others, volunteering at local addiction centers and sharing his story at schools and community events. His goal was to raise awareness about addiction and inspire others to seek help. He also began working on a new album, using his journey as inspiration for his music. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Chapter 15. A New Beginning. After completing his rehabilitation program, James stepped out into the world with a renewed sense of purpose and strength. Continued to attend AA meetings, stay connected with his support network, and pursue his passion for music and art. His journey was far from over, but he had the tools and determination to face whatever challenges lay ahead. James had transformed his life, turning his struggle into a story of resilience and hope. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. James's story teaches us that no matter how deep the struggle, there is always a way to rise above. With courage, determination, and the support of loved ones, we can overcome our darkest moments and find new purpose. His journey reminds us that healing is possible, and that every step towards recovery, no matter how small, is a victory. By embracing new passions, building a support network, and giving back to the community, James turned his life around, showing that true strength comes from within, and that hope is a powerful catalyst for change.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.